Right. Welcome back. And before going on to the break, we had a wonderful segment with young buds. And since we wanted to have the conversation and develop further the conversation with the younger population of this country, with the young buds, what do they think about Pakistan? How do they celebrate the idea of Pakistaniyat? And we are very glad that once again we have been joined by another two young, beautiful, intelligent young buds in our in this program, and they're going to talk about what does the Pakistaniyat means to them. So we are very glad that we have been joined by Amna Maqsood Malik. Assalamu alaikum, Amna, and happy Independence Day to you. Right.
Thank you so much.
And joining Amna, we are glad that we have been joined by another young bud. She happens to be Noor Haram. She is in the 5th grade. Assalamu alaikum, Noor, and happy Independence Day to you.
Same to you.
Thank you so much for joining us. Wonderful to have you over here. And to get started, I think I'll move on to Amna. So Amna, first things first, and that is that when we say Yawm-e Azadi Mubarak, what do you take out of it?
Well, I've noticed that in the routine, we have this tendency to focus on the negative aspects in our circumstances. But our Independence Day is like a little light among those. And on this very day, I remind myself of the struggle and the ambition that our elders have carried throughout the years. And what really sets the Independence Day apart is that every Pakistani on this day, every year, has in their mind Iqbal's vision in different hues of green and white. And the green is our faith, and the white is our unity. And I think that's a very, very powerful thing.
Thank you so much for saying that. And I think you've hit the nail on the head as well, because I would certainly want to ask you, as that one of those youngsters who represent the majority of the youngsters of the country, what do you think has led us towards having this very negative narrative towards Oji mulk mein ye ho gaya, mulk mein ye ho gaya? Do you think it's the media? Do you think it's the journalists? Do you think that it's the people generally, the late night conversations that people have? How do you think that we've come to a point where most of the time that we get to hear from people, whatever we get to hear, is not really very positive?
I feel like social media is the main cause, because everyone has their own opinion. And so people are really prone to listening to misinformation, and instead of forming their own perspectives, it's just the word of mouth that travels, and just like Chinese whispers.
Yeah, Chinese whisper, right?
I think it's also the human nature that we're more attracted towards the juicy news, right? The gossip news. But now let's move on to Noor. So Noor, how can we become a more better and responsible citizen, and how can we contribute towards Pakistani? How do you see yourself as a Pakistani and a more responsible citizen?
We can plant more trees for the betterment for the Pakistan. We can do reduce pollution, recycling things for the better human for the Pakistan, and we can do lots of things for Pakistan, like following rules and all things that is beneficial for them.
I think that's wonderful.
Amna, do you agree with this notion? I mean, how can we be more responsible citizens? Because I'm really interested in exploring what does a younger population think. I think there was a time when I would count myself as a young, but I'm no more as young as Amna is. So Amna,
well, I am.
tell us, okay, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So tell us that how do you envision being a responsible?
Well, building upon what my peer has said, the environmental movement has been really popular among the youth, and I feel like that's something that we can really put into implementation in our daily lives very easily too. And we can also provide awareness of our main historical events and the people who really shape our history and this independence movement on social media. And I've been really happy and delighted to see these different awareness pages that these younger people and people like me have started on these social media platforms, and that's been really enlightening our perspective overall.
And adding to this conversation, thank you so much for highlighting that, because when we used to sit with our nani or dadis or with their generation, so they have their own stories to tell, right? So they had their own friends or peers who then migrated to other country, and people came from that subcontinent to Pakistan, and those stories were so much full of emotions, they were so much full of interest, and they had had their own perspective, but unfortunately we are losing that generation, right? And those stories, those storytelling nature or that narratives are also losing with that. So it's very important that we document what they witness in that, and there's a movement within the South Asian communities on the internet, on the social media that I'm witnessing, where they're documenting, what was the story of their Nana and Dada. And I do remember my Dadi used to very fervently tell out, document the details of how, people migrated from her birthplace to other country, and from people who came there and how they gave refuge to them. And it's such an interesting story, right?
And which is why exactly we know, so I imagine that, I used to sit down with my grandfather. He used to always tell me that, that we migrated from Hoshiarpur.
Oh, that's
and
interesting.
so imagine that coming all the way from there to Pakistan, settling, and the level of patriotism they used to have, the way that they used to serve with all honesty, the ethos, the morals. I think that we really need to kind of discuss the ethics of it, the ethics side of it, the morality of it.
And just adding more to it, because you mentioned about, how you guys migrated from the Hoshiarpur. So I do remember I was sitting with another lady, and she talked about, she was she settled in the Karachi, and they came from, I think, Hyderabad state in India. And she talked about, because they're called Muhajir, right? And she talks about the pre-Islamic state, or, just initially when the Islam came, and how there was, conflation between Muhajirs and Ansar. And, you witness the same sort of visuals, the spectacles here in Pakistan, where people gave them refuge. They opened their houses, irrespective of their own status, irrespective of what they are going through. And that was sort of the brotherhood that we witnessed in Pakistan, in the creation of Pakistan. And we were able to grasp so much more population, because the people who migrated from India to Pakistan were way more greater than those who migrated here to India, right?
Exactly, that's true. And in addition to this, I still remember when my grandfather, Maqsood Ahmad Khan Sahab, used to serve the Ministry of Defense then. Alhamdulillah, may Allah bless his soul. He used to tell me that, when we came to Pakistan, so whatever house you would find empty, you'll find empty, you could go in and it's your house, so that's how things were from there onwards. But now coming down to this, where I certainly want to discuss the ethics, the morals of it, do you think that with future generations or people like you, with the youngsters, the budding population of the country, have lost or track of the ethics and the morals and the way their patriotism used to work, or do you think that it's a different way to see the picture?
Or is that brotherhood still alive, which we witnessed during that independence movement?
That is a really big question, but I feel like there are two extremes when it comes to the youth. There is a lot of distraction, and people around me are just like in their own lives, and it's a sort of like lost the big picture. They lost the big picture. But I am really glad to see that at least in my school, in my community, and I'm a part of that community, we are actually bringing awareness to our these ancestral stories and these movements that have been so essential to us being our Pakistanis and our identity.
Exactly. And in addition to this, because most of the time we do get to hear this as well, that you guys are very good at social media and information technology. Obviously, you guys are better than us. So I think that there needs to be the sense of that you guys certainly might know better than us as well, and there's no harm in it. And this is exactly what Allama Iqbal said, ke jawano ko piron ka ustad kar, if you get that. Yes.
Right,
really?
Right. So Noor, now let's move on to you. How do you celebrate Independence Day?
First, I wake up. I wish everyone Independence Day. Then we sit down together and pray for Pakistan's betterment and for Pakistan's progress, for bright future. Then we cut out cake and we decorated.
ईदी तो नहीं लेती हैं आप किसी से? ईदी ले लेती हैं जश्न आज़ादी पे?
She can if someone gives us. If Shahzada is gracious enough, you can ask Shahzad to give her the ED, right?
Why not?
And make sure that you know.
Anything for my country.
Decorated our home, then we go outside, and we are also having a flag raising ceremony on our rooftop. Then we go outside, enjoy the day, and do lots of fireworks and enjoy the lightning, the decoration.
Enjoy the freedom. Exactly. Well, that's wonderful. But thank you so much, kids, for being with us.
Thank you so
much. There's one more thing that I would love to say over here, and that is that, Amna, whenever you've been on the show, you've been absolutely amazing. The way you speak, the way you use your words, they're magnificent, and that the level of impact it's going to have on our audience is marvelous. So keep up with that. Keep up with that too. Little angel. Thank you so much for being with us. If there's any message that you would want to give to the elders of the country, what would that be? बुजुर्गों को, ये हमारे बुजुर्ग हैं, उनको कोई पैगाम दो कि सर क्या कर रहे हैं आप?
I feel like the elders should not really lose hope on the younger generation because we are so interested in our history and our ancestry and where we come from, and it's an essential part of growing up. And I feel like if we just carry on those stories, carry on the recipes, the food, the culture, that will be really essential too.
Yeah, well, that's wonderful. And on this note, you know, what do you like the most eating?
Pakistani food?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of nihari.
Nihari. What about you, bete?
Biryani.
Biryani. Another one?
In a sweet,
yeah. What about you?
Halim.
Halim. And another one?
I like kheer.
Kheer.
Rasmalai.
Rasmalai. Shahi tukde. Jalebi. Garato jalebi. There's so many things, ladies and gentlemen. Mughlai mutton. You know, everybody loves mutton over here as well. Nobody's interested in chicken. If it has to be chicken, it needs to be desi chicken. You know, so I think I'm feeling hungry too as well. But ladies and gentlemen, I think let's take a short break, and once you guys will come back, we'll certainly spoil our taste buds as well. In between the break, we'll have other people. True. Let's see what's their idea of Pakistaniyat and how they will certainly contribute towards the prosperity. I keep on saying that because that's how it's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. This is what our role is. Everybody needs to be true to their role. We're heading out towards a short break. Don't go anywhere. Happy Independence Day!
Welcome back, and before going on to the break, we have wonderful kids lined up in our segments, and before that we were also having deep into the conversation about exploring the ideas of Pakistani, what does the Pakistani entails for the younger kids out there, and the answers that we are getting, they're very interesting. And one of the things that stand out in all of those conversations, and I think the tale that connects them, is the popular movement about the environment in which they are interested. So a lot of people said that we want to plant more trees for Pakistan, so there is general awareness within them that how trees are essential for our survival, right? And this, they take it with the essential identity of Pakistan. So in this segment, we've also had two young, bright women out there who wants to do something good for the Pakistan. What does Pakistanis means to them? How do they celebrate Independence Day? Without any further ado, we are very glad that we have been joined by two wonderful young sisters. We welcome Aisha Maqsood Malik, who happens to be 11th grader. Assalamu alaikum, Aisha. Happy
Independence Day to you as well.
Thank you.
And joining Aisha, we are very glad that we have been joined by Fatima. Assalamu alaikum, Fatima, and thank you so much for coming to our show. Happy Independence Day.
Jashne Azadi Mubarak. How are you? Fine, that's good. You know, I love the confidence that you bring to our show. It's wonderful to have you over here. First of all, what I'm going to ask you is, when we say Pakistan, what do we mean by that? Can you put the flag a little down so that everybody can see the little angel? Yes?
It means basically that Pakistan is our country and we really care about it, and we're basically saying this is our country. Like, example, Aisha saying, Pakistan is my country, so Pakistan is...
And when you say Pakistan is your country, do you say it with love? Do you say it with care? Do you say it with patriotism, with passion, with zeal, with fervor?
Say it with passion.
And who is your favorite Pakistani hero, national hero?
Yeah. Any sports star, any film star?
Historical figure,
anybody.
Qaid-e-Azam, Allama Iqbal. Who's your favorite? All of them. Just Qaid-e-Azam. No one else.
What about you, Bete?
My favorite?
Yeah.
I think Allama Iqbal, because I think he was a really creative person, and he thought about and dreamt about Pakistan, and I feel like that's, I think it all started from there, and he had his poetry and everything that we learned in Urdu lessons, and I think it has a lot of history attached to it, and it still needs to be explored, and it's just, I really like his personality.
खुदी को कर बुलंद उतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से खुद पूछे बता तेरी रज़ा क्या है. Well, it's beautiful, but not just that. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine that in Germany, there's an entire place which is named after Dr. Allama Muhammad Iqbal as well, and because of his contributions and the way that he was friends with poets all over the world.
And Iqbaliyat is also a field of study, particularly in the Germany, because he did his PhD from the Germany. So they're really, I mean, they attach themselves to Iqbal a lot. So Aisha, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Honestly, at this point, I'm not sure, as any other teenager is. There are a few ideas. I mean, I'm really passionate about computer science. I'm really passionate about having my own business, you know, and it's just...
MashaAllah. What sort of business do you want to have?
Like I think yeah, you can be anything you want, and I'm still figuring out what I really want and what to do in the future, but I think having a clear idea on who you think you want to be in maybe 10 years time is going to help you a lot, and I think that's what the youth of Pakistan should do right now, because as much as I'm a teenager and gadgets and such things are really attractive, I think we should have some constructive views out of them and discover who we are.
So when you sit down with your parents, when you sit down with your parents, your family, your naughty sister, you know, when you speak about Pakistan, what do you guys talk about?
We talk about how we can contribute that, how we can contribute our role, like how we can help in our own way to the society. I mean, raising our voice. Since I was young, I've been debating about many topics, environment, climate change, different women rights in Pakistan, and a lot of poverty, and about things I think we should raise in our own way, just raise voices.
And these are the voices of a very empowered and very enlightened youth. So moving on to Fatma, what does Fatma wants to be when she grows up?
I want to be a dermatologist.
Wow, why do you want to be a dermatologist? You've already been blessed with such a good skin.
Why do you want to be a dermatologist?
MashaAllah.
I just find it a really nice job to have, and I like makeup and skincare and things like that. So I just want to be a dermatologist.
And who do you follow on YouTube? Do you follow someone on YouTube as well because of aesthetics and skin and everything?
Stationery hauls.
Wow, that's wonderful. But you know, for somebody to think at this age that they want to be a dermatologist is something which kind of tells me that you're very well aware of your surroundings, right? Do you know any famous dermatologists over here in our country?
No.
No? All right, there are a few. We can name some. There's Dr. Amna Osman, there's Dr. Fazila Abbasi. There's so many dermatologists who are really famous for the kind of work they do, but they might not be as popular on YouTube. So we can certainly kind of search about them and kind of learn. So imagine if I'm going to come to you, you're a dermatologist now, okay? If I come to you and I'm like, you know, Fatma Bete, I've got wrinkles now, I want to look young. What are you going to do with me then? Are you going to suggest some Botox injections or what?
I'll suggest some skincare products that'll fix it, and probably check it up. Or what are you really are you really saying that you really have wrinkles or something else?
Oh wow, that's wonderful. I like it, yeah.
That's cute, but I think Shahzad has a lot of knowledge already on the subject, right? He's a very well knowledgeable man. So with that, we will say thank you to both of our young buds. Thank you so much, Aisha. Thank you so much, Fatma, for coming to our show, for enlightening us about what does Pakistaniyat means. And we are going on a short break, and after we come back, we have a very interesting discussion lined up. Don't go anywhere. Happy Independence Day.
Happy Independence Day.
Welcome back, and we've been joined by someone who happens to be the founder of this studio, this institute particularly. And when we talk about the fashion industry, when we talk about, and the reason why we venture into this area and we wanted to have the interview from the founder of this institute is because fashion is a very soft topic, and it has a massive influence when we talk about the representation of the country. You see it in the public sphere, you see it how it is flourishing, how a common ordinary man, masses are also wearing something that represents Pakistan. So in order to explore that, how can a fashion become a change agent for Pakistan, how soft influence can be explored, and how can we add the element of Pakistaniyat into it, because recently we have seen a lot of people, especially from the Western world, have developed their interest in the Asian countries, and particularly the South Asian countries, because they have a very rich history to borrow from, and what not best to borrow from when we talk about the fashion. We are very glad that we have been joined by the founder of the Nifty Institute. She happens to be Sidratul Muntaha. Assalamu alaikum, and thank you so much for coming to. Happy Independence Day. And Sidra, so let's talk about the fashion. So you came up with this idea, and we've also seen that fashion is something that is prevalent in the public sphere, and it has an essential impact on who you are, how you carry yourself, what is your essential identity, right? And when we talk about Pakistanis, how do you express your Pakistaniyat through your fashion and through this institute?
Actually, we are working towards the more opportunities that students can participate in the fashion shows as well, and as you have seen that Pakistani models are now addressed as Miss World and Miss Universe.
Yep.
So the fashion industry in Pakistan is also growing to a vast level, and we are providing opportunities to students so they can make their own brands and makeup.
And that's the exact point that, you know, we certainly want to thank you first of all for, you know, lending us this space of yours, for inviting us.
It is an opportunity for us. It's a pleasure for us.
Opportunity for us too as well, because now imagine that for all of those successful brands, they are recognized all over the world, you know, and I would certainly want to take pride in it, and I will call out their names. May it be Khadi, may it be Ideas, may it be Junaid Jamshed, you know, for all of those people.
And also the Peshawari chappal which Shahzad is wearing. You know,
Paul Smith is actually producing Peshawari chappal
Exactly. So you see how the influence of Pakistan is spreading beyond our borders, beyond our countries. It is spreading in the West, and this is the power, this is the soft power that we cannot, especially in the 21st century, underestimate when we talk about
and there's one more beautiful thing, and that is that because obviously Sidra happens to be the founder of Nifty Square, but her husband Usman, I would love to mention about him, is a very hard-working gentleman, used to be in my university, an amazing guy. I think you guys have contributed quite a lot. But you know, when we speak about such institutes, there's a dearth of such institutes as well, and you know, there's more space. You know, I think that there needs to be another Nifty Square in Lahore, in Karachi, in Peshawar, in Multan. Exactly, and you know, when you're planning onto that, how much do you think it will have its impact on the diaspora that we have outside Pakistan? How many people call you, हम अपने बच्चे को भेजें Nifty Sphere में art सीखेगा वो?
हमारे पास काफी इस तरह की queries आती हैं. Even we have many students who have come to Nifty Sphere and then they are going abroad for further studies. So Pakistan needs more people like this. Pakistan needs skilled people, and we are working our best to give Pakistan the best we can do.
And Sidra, how do you envision Pakistan's fashion industry? Because we're witnessing there's a renewed interest in Pakistani fashion, especially from the abroad. Shahzad talked about a lot of brands that are making some international standing out there. And we've seen that Pakistani fashion has some very vibrant colors, right? Pop art sort of a colors, right?
Pakistani culture is loved worldwide. Even if we talk about our Sindhi culture, our Balochi culture, then many foreigners have a good knowledge about our culture. And we are representing our culture in different countries as well.
So how do you design the entire curricula, you know, for all of those students? You know, because I've seen the institute, mashallah, it's an amazing thing. But everybody is doing whatever they're supposed to do. I haven't seen any teachers over here. Everybody's at it. Probably there are trainers, you know, because I haven't seen them. You know, so how do you plan that? Okay, this needs to be the future of the fashion industry of the country. This is what the students need to learn, because most of the time we've seen that, you know, there's hardly any bridge in between the academia and, you know, when you come to the professional life as well, you're like, okay, it's a shock. You know, okay, you know, this is what I was taught and this is something very different. So how do you make sure that whatever the students are learning over here is going to be something that will be required in near future?
Actually, we are not working on a specific course outlines. That's the first thing that we prefer, not to mention any specific course outline to the students. We work according to the students' choice and the things they want to learn, so that they can pursue their career according to their choices. We just polish their skills so that they can make more money, more income to the world.
And do you think anyone can do that? You know, that's the kind of skill that you guys have, that you can...
Everyone has some skill in their own. We just have to... Sir, wo achhi ho jati.
I think it's just practice. Everybody needs to kind of work on it. And there was a reason why I've asked this question. Now, for each and every aspect of life that we come from every walk of life that we come from, it's all about how much we put in that effort, you know. So I think for everybody who's ready to put in that effort will contribute towards because this is what our mission is today, the prosperity of the country, you know, for everybody who's true and honest and are dedicated towards the kind of work they do such marvelous things where, you know, we are sitting in an example of it where Nifty's fair.
Even there are many people who have skills, they just need to know the right path.
And Sidra, we've seen, before being institutionalized as a fashion institute, so we've seen that a lot of people do open up boutiques or they have their exhibitions and they showcase their work out there. Why do you think there needs to be a proper training in that course which Nifty is offering out there? Because yes, a lot of people are doing it without having any particular professional training, I would say. So how does that make an impact into this fashion field?
With a knowledge of fashion, you have to do research, you have to learn the things that according to body types, if we say, according to skin tone, if the designer doesn't know about their client's skin tone and the body of our Asian culture body, so that makes them easy after study.
Right,
exactly,
right.
and everybody needs to put in their own research. We've spoken about it, me and Haja, our entire team, how Pakistan really needs to become a research hub in all walks of life, you know, may it be science, may it be information technology, may it be farming, anything. But thank you so much, Sidra, for being with us.
Much.
That too on such an auspicious occasion where we are celebrating our freedom. Thanks to all of those people who contributed towards the freedom, towards the independence of our country. But there's something more interesting which is coming your way, ladies and gentlemen. We need to head out towards a short break. Then we'll do a walk around as well, you know, for all of those students who study over here. Let's see what do they have to say or how do they want to celebrate their Independence Day. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
Happy Independence Day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. As we've already spoken, that we are over here at the Nifty's Fair Institute, and you know, obviously, a lot of children over here, kids learning fashion and arts and whatnot. And to my surprise, I've actually come across a beautiful portrait picture of the founder of the nation, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and it's being done by this amazing student over here. Assalamu alaikum. Your good name is?
My name is Maryam Zulfikar.
Maryam Zulfikar.
I'm a student of fashion design, but I do art as a hobby since I was little.
That's wonderful. The best part over here is that, you know, as soon as we came into the institute, she thought that, okay, she's going to draw something, and that's what she did. So, bete, it is Independence Day for Pakistan. What is your ideology of how everybody needs to celebrate the Independence Day of Pakistan?
My ideology is that everyone has some sort of talent and some sort of hobby that they can execute in a way to help Pakistan become better. As an artist, I think that I can use my talent to show what Pakistan has gone through, to make designs that represent Pakistani culture. Right now, I'm working on a Sindhi Rali work that.
Wow.
That's
Can we take a good look at all the designs as well?
Yes,
you know,
sure,
for what
of
you've
course.
Made already, because that's how what you aspire to be. Okay,
yes,
wow.
this is.
Is this Asian? Is this Pakistani?
Yes, this is South Asian, mostly bridal clothes. And yes,
I think
and
it's the bridal season which is coming around
yes,
as well.
yes, exactly.
Can we move
This-
ahead as well? Wow, this
Sure.
is beautiful.
And this is
And
another
how do you
one.
think that, you know, this will actually have an impact on the country, the motherland we call Pakistan?
As fashion is a very prevalent, thing in every country, and Pakistan has a very rich culture. It's important that all the designers stand up to represent their culture, and in any country that they can represent Pakistan, and it can help us become better in every way.
Wow, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for being with us. Lovely to be on conversation with you. And may you be whatever you aspire to be as well. And may your art form or your whatever your designs are will have an impact on our country as well and on our nation. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Bede, how are you?
I'm fine.
And your name is?
Andali Barif.
Andaleeb, it's wonderful to be over here. But what are you doing over here today? It happens to be Happy Independence Day. 14 August hai aaj, hum sab mana rahe hain. So what do you wear? So okay, everybody loves to dress up these days. We have these amazing green kurtas and shalwar kameez and whatnot. Everybody's enjoying the spirit of freedom. Jab hum, for example, मैं आपसे पूछता हूँ, what is azadi for you? What is freedom for you?
आज़ादी इसमें यह है कि हम लोग अपनी मर्ज़ी से कुछ भी कर सकते हैं, कहीं भी जा सकते हैं, अपनी कल्चर को सेलिब्रेट कर सकते हैं, अपने जैसे अब एज अ
जिस तरह से हम जिंदगी में जीना चाहते थे जी सकते.
हाँ जी.
And I think that's exactly what the message was of the founder of our nation, Qaeda Muhammad Ali Jinnah, that you're free to go to your mosque, that you're free to go to your churches. So be whatever you want to be, but just please make sure that you're not one of those people who does not contribute towards the development of the country. So I think we have another student over here I would like to ask as well. Assalamu alaikum, bete.
Walaikum assalam.
Your good name is?
Namra.
Namra, thank you so much for giving us your time as well. Namra, how important do you think it is for each and every one of us to know what Pakistan means for us?
It's very important for every one of us to know what Pakistan means. Nowadays, children even don't know what actually the Independence Day is. So parents should teach them, and they should know, they should celebrate in their house what Pakistan and Independence Day is.
Exactly. So what is it for you?
It's like a very peaceful event at our home, mostly with our family. We do prayer for Pakistan, and we celebrate the 14 August with my nephews, niece, everyone.
I think that's good. So which is why, because we're coming towards the end of our show today over here on the special transmission of World This Morning on PTV World, मैं आज आपसे रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि वो दुआ जो आप सबके साथ मांगती हैं अपने मुल्क के लिए, वो आज आप हम सब के साथ मांगें.
सबसे पहले तो सब मुसलमानों के लिए हम ये मांगते हैं कि अल्लाह ताला उनको लंबी सेहत वाली ज़िंदगी दे और उनके नसीब अच्छे करे और अपने मुल्क के लिए कुछ अच्छा करने की उनको तौफीक अता करे.
I think that's a wonderful prayer as well. Long live Pakistan. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, we have another surprise for you. Bete, please sit down. Thank you so much. We have another surprise for you. All of those amazing guests who joined us today are over here. We're going to do a mini nagma together, in the spirit of independence. Let's do it. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Happy Independence Day. Yeah, Pakistan Zindabad. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as I spoke about it as well, that that there's going to be an interesting bit towards the end. But before we actually reach towards the end, there's one small message, and that is, the teaching of the founder of the nation, Qaeda Muhammad Ali Jinnah. I would love to reiterate that, and that's unity, faith, discipline. I think with unity, faith, and discipline, nations can achieve what we see as a miracle. And I think it's a lesson for all of us. Not just that. So may it be the armed forces of the country, may it be the politics or the politicians of the country, may it be the normal, ordinary people like us of the country. If each and every single day we kind of have this resolve to ourselves that we're going to contribute towards the development of the country, no power on earth can actually stop us. Being a Muslim, I think we certainly have this faith in Allah Almighty that Pakistan, inshallah, will do well, as we have been doing well all these years as well. There's no such country on this planet which might not have suffered from probably such challenges which was hard to encounter, and not just that, but hard to overcome. So for each and every one of us, I think we need to have this resolve and a commitment that we are going to contribute towards our motherland we call Pakistan. Prayers for the people and the brethren in all of those hard-hit areas, may it be the people in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, and may it be the people of Palestine. World over, Pakistan stands with them. And this song, ladies and gentlemen, is dedicated to each and every one of you who played a contributing role towards the development, prosperity of the motherland, Pakistan. Let's do it together. Pakistan Zindabad! सोहनी धरती अल्लाह रखे कदम कदम आबाद कदम कदम आबाद तुझे
कदम कदम आबाद सोनी धरती अल्लाह रखे कदम कदम आबाद कदम कदम आबाद तुझे कदम कदम आबाद सोनी धरती अल्लाह रखे अल्लाह हमको अपनी जान से प्यारा हर एक जर्रा हमको अपनी जान से प्यारा तेरे दम पे जान हमारी तुझसे नाम हमारा जब तक है ये दुनिया सारी हम देखे आजाद तुझे अपनी धरती अल्लाह रखे कदम कदम आबाद कदम कदम आबाद तुझे कदम कदम आबाद अपनी धरती अल्लाह रखे Pakistan! Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody.